Have you ever wondered how classical musicians dropped their music? If so, you were probably smoking a spliff of the most exquisite czar whilst listening to some Beethoven. You've had enough of the devil's lettuce. Hop on the time machine and I'll show you how music releases worked centuries ago. Let's go back to the days of classical music, where life was much simpler. The Industrial Revolution hasn't started yet. Everybody wore funny clothes.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
And people didn't need Subway Surfer gameplay in order to pay attention to a video. Why don't we go to a concert so I can tell you more about the music industry of this era? Tonight's star performer is Ye-thofen, and he is set to drop his latest sonata. It looks like we have a few extra minutes before the show starts. I have received word that Ye is backstage right now and having a psychotic episode because he hasn't taken his meds yet.
Picasso is dead. Steve Jobs is dead. Walt Disney is dead. Name somebody living.
You may be wondering how one becomes a famous classic musician in the first place. The key to success in the music industry has remained largely the same for centuries. A severe drug problem. Berlioz used opium, Schumann experimented with psychedelics, and the other composers were usually alcoholics, who oftentimes yelled at their wives for no reason. According to a letter from Mozart to his father, Franz Xaver Richter, an acclaimed violinist, was said to consume up to 20 bottles of wine a day. You also had to be talented, but making it as a musician was incredibly difficult. You had to be either an excellent composer or an extraordinary instrumentalist to have any chance at success. Today, however, it's quite different. Artists can become famous almost overnight because of stupid TikTok trends. They rake in a fortune from Spotify streams and have millions of fans following their every move. It was much harder for musicians in the 18th century, especially someone like Ye-thofen, who had a difficult upbringing in the mean streets of Vienna. This concert tonight is his one and only chance to make something of himself, so please stay for his performance. He will drop an absolute banger. It will definitely pay off. Look around and you will find that there are dozens of Ye-thofen fans here. How did they know he was releasing a new composition tonight? I'm about to ask you a very important question, one that will explain not only how music drops worked in the past, but also the classic music industry as a whole. Make sure to pay attention. Everything will make sense in a moment. Have you ever seen Mozart do a money spread?
Hell no, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, me neither. That's because musicians generally didn't have a lot of money during this era unless they had a so-called patron to support them. These were usually rich individuals who could afford to sponsor their favorite artist. They would pay for tours and commissioned works for specific occasions. You see, in the 18th century, music releases worked quite differently. Every musical piece was created with a distinct purpose, unlike today.
The one song, the lyric, "When, bitch, I'm a little baby." How did you think of it?
I actually came up with it with one of the bros in the studio, but I'm glad we came up with it.
Genius.
An opera for a particular theater, a church piece for a church service, or a sonata commissioned by a particular noble. Music wasn't commercialized yet. Due to the lack of recordings, all music was performed live. And the only way one could gain access to music was by purchasing music sheets. Back then, most people were illiterates and couldn't read music sheets, let alone afford to pay for a whole orchestra. Therefore, the majority of fans were aristocrats or wealthy individuals, just like the people in this theater. Seems like the concert is about to begin.
Whoopity scoop, scoop-dee-dee whoop, whoop-dee scoop-dee poop, poop-dee scoop-dee, scoop-dee whoop.